some man who fights crime, and we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time with John and Niall, and I guess you just rhyme with Bat Minute!
Hello, and welcome once again to Bat Minute Forever, the podcast where we talk about each minute, that's minute, of Batman Forever, 1 minute at a time. I was in my head there, I was like, oh crap, I don't have an intro, and the only thing I can remember from this minute is Two-Face going, 2, that's 2. So that's now the intro. I apologize to everybody for that. But I am one of the hosts, Niall McGowan.
And blowing up your speakers like 200 sticks of TNT. It's me, John.
And joining us once again, puppeteer, stand-up comedian, actress, writer, all-around raconteur, Phoebe Bottoms.
Hello. I'm just a multi-hyphenate. Just floundering around over here in the West. Hello.
Getting into like, he makes like a Tommy Lee Jones fan. She can make she makes good toast, so she's kind of a chef in that regard.
Yeah.
If you want to, but
just throw some more titles in there. I love it.
But yeah, so this is minute 38 of Batman Forever. Minute 38 begins with the Two-Face's gang sort of seizing the circus, and ends 1 minute later with Two-Face's making some threats. This minute I was very excited about because one of the biggest things of past seasons of Batman has been the mayor. We've always loved talking about the mayor of Gotham, and we got a new mayor in this minute, the 1 minute that he's in.
That's it. Yeah, to me, one of the main things in the Batman series is the mayor. We need more action.
We got so much material out of Mayor Borg in that first movie. Mayor Roscoe Jenkins.
What's his name?
In the first movie, it's Mayor Borg. You call him like we have engaged the Borg, like that kind of guy.
I love that.
And then the second one, he was called Mayor Roscoe Jenkins, although they never called him that in the movie. That was just in the novelization. Yeah, so we'll get to the mayor obviously when he comes in mid-minute here. I don't want to say you're lucky, Phoebe, but like you are within an exciting minute for me and John at least. Anyway, because like we got a new mayor we get to talk about.
I felt like when I was watching it, I really felt like there was something happening, something special.
You were getting goosebumps just watching him. Like this guy, I have a feeling he's
kind of mayoral, treat.
Although, almost in real life, I'll get to the guy when we get to him. But
yeah, we'll get there. You need to start with the Two-Face takeover.
Yeah, Two-Face declaring "Bring it on now," which I think wasn't the one with Kirsten Dunst. I think that might have been the one with Felicia Day. I'm not too up on my Bring It On movies, but I think
How many are there?
There's like 12. There's a
lot.
Oh no! Like American Pie, I keep finding out there's like 10 of those things. I'm like, what?
And Eugene Levy's in all of them. Like that guy can't say no, apparently.
Now, Two-Face here as well. He's wearing possibly the greatest outfit of all time.
This is some special stuff.
That's like a Johnny Rotten jacket. I want it. I need it.
Would you consider yourself a fashionista, Phoebe? Would you ever want to rock a Two-Face outfit like he's got here?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I would. I mean, look, there's two reasons for that. First and foremost, I could see it working for me. Secondly, anything that's touched Tommy, I'll take with open arms. I would love to just like roll myself up in some like any garb that he has discarded or has graced his presence. I wonder what he smells like.
He just like any crumpled up tissue is just like, this is Tommy Lee's mucus. I finally got it.
Yeah. Put it in like
rub it all over your face.
A glass case.
It is weird when you read those stories about people who are like buying celebrities' hair trimmings and things from the hairdresser.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not a great look.
My housemates, when they took their kid, they have a little 2-year-old boy, Killian. They took him for his first haircut not too long ago because they let his hair grow really long for a long time. And they were freaked out when the barber was like, "Do you want a bag of the hair?"
Oh boy!
And they were like, "Why would we want a bag of hair?" And they're like, some parents like to keep bags of their children's hair.
What do they do with it?
Jesus!
But they were genuinely like, "That's messed up. We won't be coming back here." Like what?
Put them in the same box with all their discarded baby teeth.
Yeah.
Like, how much of your kid do you need besides your kid?
Oh, that's horrible. I did keep
Yeah,
my
it's
teeth
not good.
once. Because when I was a kid, I had to have 7 teeth removed.
Ugh.
Wow.
I know. And they gave me them in a
All
little
baby
pot.
teeth?
No, they were... well, no, they were baby teeth, actually. Yeah. So I've got the full amount now. But, yeah, so I
And
kept
some
them in a
extra.
little pot. And every now and then I would just open them to have a look at these horrible, falling apart, broken teeth.
Well, my mom and I came up with a song. I forgot about this because my grandparents had like a chest of armoire in their bedroom, and in it was this little gold box where they had some baby teeth in there. I don't remember to who they belonged, but my grandma has Alzheimer's now, so my mom and I, like, last year went into her room. She was taking a nap and she woke up, and I was like singing, making up little songs for her about our childhood and stuff, just like stuff that had happened. And there was one song I came up with. It was like, remember there used to be a box full of teeth. Right over there, a box full of teeth. That's it. So
That's the new theme song for this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome to have it. There are some royalties you're going to have to pay, but it's pretty affordable.
The
It's
production
just
value
teeth.
of this show just plummets because, like, all the royalties have to pay to Phoebe Bottoms for that box of
Yeah,
teeth song.
you just find some more teeth to give me.
Like, John gave all his away when he was a kid, goddammit.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that pot of teeth, actually. And I'll be honest, right? I had to have them removed because they were rotten.
You can be honest here. This is a safe space.
Yeah, you know, I was one of those kids. I would pretend to brush my teeth, and my parents would check, and I worked out a way of fooling them by like rubbing the toothpaste on my tongue so my breath smelled nice. And I'd be like, "Look, I've brushed my teeth." Like, but then I had to have 7 removed. So kids, brush your teeth. But when you open that pot, it stinks. They smell awful.
What was the thing about brushing your teeth? Like, what? Because you put it in your mouth. So then, what was the?
I don't.
What
Kids
was
are
the
just
tooth
weird.
aversion?
Kids
Yeah.
are weird. They just don't like. Kids don't like brushing their teeth or getting their hair cut. I don't know why.
There's so little of them as is. They're so small. They're like, please don't take any more of my body. They're just very tiny.
The thing is, too, because I know the kind of person John is as well, and I remember being in you and Lol's house ages back, and just like seeing in the bathroom the toothbrushes, and one of them was like this elegant, perfectly poised toothbrush, and the other one looked as if like it had been used to clean out like an engine or something. Like it was so the brush part of it was just everywhere, completely. It looked as if someone was trying to like rub out like the bottom of a like burnt on dirt at the bottom of a dustpan, like scraping it with such ferocious intensity.
Because of these bad memories, I've got to attack the teeth. Sometimes I brush too hard though, and my gums bleed.
We gotta get you in some kind of dental therapy.
I will 100% recommend, because I got on it and never went back. Electric toothbrushes, people. They are the best. I 100%. I used to have a freaking problem with bleeding gums. And it was recommended by my dentist, like, you should get yourself an electric toothbrush. And I did. And that problem cleared right up. And now my teeth are better than ever. So
Perfect.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I do. I'm a manual person, but I might take your advice.
But anyway, yeah. So actually, speaking of weird things going on with people's mouths, because we have Two-Face's goons coming in here. And then there's this one goon who's just got the tongue piercing. And it's just out. Like he's just coming in, tongue akimbo, just lolled out of his mouth, just so everybody knows. Like, yeah, I got this cold piercing, I got my tongue. It's like, your people are already scared of you because of the friggin' machine gun guy. You don't need to show off your friggin'. Unless he just did it that day, he's just like, I want to make sure everybody knows. But like, you can't stop to rehydrate because your tongue's dried out because you're sticking out your goddamn head every time somebody looks at you.
I thought he just had big lips. I didn't even realize.
Oh, yeah. 6 seconds in, that guy's full on.
Yeah.
Not even a tongue stud, like a tongue skewer. Like he's friggin'.
Jesus.
It almost
What's
makes me
going
think.
on in that town?
It almost makes me think of, like, remember in the last movie, we had the sword swallower guy. Maybe it's the same goon. Maybe he's like, yeah, red triangle circus gang. That's out of business, but I hear Two-Face is hiring, and hey, I know circuses. I could be part of this gang, too, when they made the circus.
They all have the same kind of vibe.
The Two-Face, he won't allow you to like swallow swords and all that kind of crap. So he's like, "Oh, you can do the tongue stud. That's about as much as I'm going to allow in this heist."
Plus, it's the 90s. Piercings are in. Piercings are cool. Because we're deep into the 90s at this point.
Yeah,
that's true. You got like a grunge era on the rise. Yeah. I guess on the decline.
Of course, I think we cut through to Edward Nygma's apartment. He is in fact, he has been watching this on the television the entire time. Apparently, the Gotham circus broadcast does not cut during acts of terrorism. They're like, oh, by all means, to show Two-Face holding up the whole thing. At the same time, like, what could they cut away to? Is like, put on a repeat of something. Put on the bicentennial footage we had. Oh crap! No, that's the Joker came in and took over that. Put on the tree lighting ceremony. Oh crap! No, the Red Triangle. Put on the other tree lighting ceremony. Oh no, Christ! That woman died. Oh my God! Put on anything but this freaking circus. Put on One Life to Live, starring Tommy Lee Jones from the 1970s. Or Lonesome Dove. People would love Lonesome Dove right now to soothe their nerves with a bit of like placid cowboying across the plains.
Yeah, they just need to figure out how to like Pleasantville this goddamn town. Because everyone's getting in trouble all the time. There needs to be like a curfew and some kind of restriction, like maybe a footloose, no dancing kind of thing.
Oh.
Look, if you want to live in Gotham, you got to take precautions. If you want to have parades, move to Cleveland.
Yeah. Parades are just a magnet for problems.
Yeah.
I wonder, though, if it's like, well, if we don't have these things, then the terrorists win, basically.
Ah, yeah.
Well, that's fair. That's a good point.
But at the same time, it must be like, you can imagine Commissioner Gordon would be sitting in the middle of this, just like, oh, God. Just
also,
like,
though,
not again.
What are the taxes like in this town? Like, there's always some kind of giant community fanfare going on.
Yeah, that's true.
That surely the people are paying for. It's it's a lot.
Yeah, at the end of the year, they're like, can we get our money back? Because
Right.
like we paid for that circus, but like a bunch of people died, and we didn't even get to see the end of it. Like it only lasted like 15 minutes.
Well, someone got to see some of it anyway. Well, someone got to see what they wanted. Edward Nygma. He was looking on, loving every second of it.
He might as well be watching a full-blown porno. He is so excited by this.
Yeah,
these
dude,
actions.
it's a nightmare.
Oh. For some reason, he seems to see a kindred spirit in Two-Face. I'm really not sure why.
Yeah.
They're not very similar people.
But they're havoc wreakers.
I think that is literally it, yeah.
I think that's, at this moment, it's what Edward Nygma wants to become. So he's like, look, but I also think it might be some kind of a comment on, like, the dangers of television, maybe? Because it's like...
Yeah.
We do have, like, all the box stuff later on is like, oh, yeah, it's, like, sucking people's minds out. So it's like, oh, TV's making people killing brain cells, making people dumber and whatnot. And then Edward Nygma watching Two-Face on television, taking over something, kind of seems like it's some sort of comment on the influence of violent media and whatnot on people, because... this ends up inspiring this guy to become a full-blown supervillain.
Also, to be fair, though, I'm not blaming him 100% because why are they even showing this on the TV? Cut away.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
People might get blown up with bloody TNT.
That's the thing, though, because sometimes I do like wonder about judgmental things, like, because we can say, like, oh, yeah, this is a comment on, like, how, violent media influences deranged loners and whatnot. And, you could say, oh, there's kind of a valid thing there. But when, like, this is a film is preaching about the dangers of television to you, while it's in itself is being, like a glitzy...
violent,
violent, glitzy blockbuster. It just reminded me, because I was watching that, the new Netflix thing there, that Don't F*** with Cats. Documentary all about that Luca Magnotta guy, which
yeah,
really good series. But like, I remember it happening at the time. It's like, oh, that guy, oh, that would be a good documentary and stuff. But the thing is, at the end of it, they keep going on about like, yeah, all this guy all he wanted was fame. He wanted recognition, and you are guilty of that. Now you sat and watched an entire documentary about that guy. That's what he wanted, and I'm sitting there looking at Netflix, going like, well, f*** you, Netflix. You made the thing. You recommended it to me.
Yeah, you didn't have to show it.
It's like, you didn't have to make this damn documentary. It's your fault that I'm watching the damn thing. But anywho.
Well, Two-Face comes out with a really cool thing. He says he's announcing his new act, and he's titled it Massacre Under the Big Top.
Yeah.
Now, that's such a trashy pulp novel name.
Yeah, it is. I love it.
It's
It,
great.
I feel like you're going to see boobs in it, and that's a lot of fun.
There's unnecessary boobs as well. Just people topless for no reason.
That'll be
Big top. The term big top is like anything's game at that point.
I do now imagine though, like Phoebe Bottom sitting at home watching this, seeing Tommy Lee Jones come on screen, and then that title, you would be Edward Nygma, just down in front of the TV, like, oh my god,
yeah,
he's here,
just screaming like, yeah. I get it. I really get it.
The Edward Nygma now getting a new friend request from Phoebe Bottoms on Facebook. Like, I think we should hook up, right, man? I think we're kindred spirits.
I've got some new Blu-rays of TLJ.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have a great time.
Every time you say TLJ, I know who you mean, but for a split second, I think you're talking about The Last Jedi.
Oh, it could be, honestly, either one.
Phoebe's gotten into some horrible arguments on Reddit with people laying into TLJ, and she's just like, how dare you take on my beloved TLJ.
Oh my god, that'd be great if all this time the arguments have just been people being confused about which TLJ they're talking about.
Well, everyone knows that Tommy Lee Jones is the best Star Wars movie. Like, that's...
So what we need is Tommy Lee Jones in a Star Wars movie.
Hey, he did Men in Black. He ain't above it. So
no,
yeah, he's already alien. He's crossed into the alien demographic. How hard is that leap?
But we'll say though, like and keeping the running tally going throughout the season about things that were cut out of the original VHS release that I got when I was a kid. That they chopped out a load of stuff from the cinema release to get it down to a PG for video. Most of this minute went, basically. All that Massacre Under the Big Top stuff, not there. Most of the really garish close-ups of Two-Face, they were all cut, because I guess they're just like, well, this is really, really grotesque makeup, so we can't, that would bump up your rating, I guess, a little bit. The thing is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, because obviously this makeup was done by Rick Baker, guy acclaimed, one of the legends of special effects. Rick Baker, did American Werewolf in London. He was responsible for like all the.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
But he had an original makeup design for Tommy Lee Jones. I'm not a big fan of this pink thing that we got going on. I think it's like it's a bit too cartoony and whatnot for my liking.
Yeah.
He originally did a sculpt of it you can get online where it was a deep dark red, and it looked really kind of realistic, almost like it was the same design, it was just a different color, but because it was like a dark like your under your skin muscular red, it did look like, oh, that actually looks very like really grotesque, like that looks really messed up and stuff. I kind of would have preferred, I think if they had gone with that, it might have been my favorite design for Two-Face, because it was like, oh, it looks awesome. But I think then he was like, they got notes going like, it's a bit too realistic. We're trying to go for something lighter. We just had a Danny DeVito spewing black goo on that last movie, and McDonald's didn't like it, so we got to dial it back a little bit. So then, now you land on this this pink version. They also wanted to do a thing, because if you know Two-Face from the comics, he's supposed to have like one big exposed eyeball, and his teeth are supposed to be visible. Apparently, Rick Baker was working on that as a practical thing. They're like, well, get a mechanical eye, and and he'll actually have the teeth and stuff, but apparently it was just too difficult to pull off. I'm sure you could do it now, but like back then it was like, nah, that's just going to be a pain in the ass for everybody involved. Although I can really imagine that if it had been a Tim Burton thing, him with a big, like his Two-Face with a big exposed eyeball thing would be a very Burton-esque sort of touch, I feel.
Yeah.
I would love that. Yeah.
The thing is, though, apparently it took Tommy Lee Jones 4 hours to get this makeup on every day. Which is brutal, considering as well that Jack Nicholson's Joker only took 2 hours. Which is, so I think Jack was he really just laughing at everybody, because he got money from this movie, he got the biggest paycheck of the first Batman movie, and then Tommy Lee Jones coming in this one, like, oh, I'll do a Batman, my buddy Jack Nicholson did that, and it turns out, like, oh, he got to do it in like half the time as well, because...
4 hours.
4 hours.
That's so many hours to be sitting in a chair.
It's awful. And you probably can't really do much else. You can't really move around, can you?
That's probably why he's so lively. He's just like, I'm just glad to be not sitting in that chair anymore. I'm just like, hey, I'm just out doing stuff. Thank God.
It was too much for me. Oh, but his plan though is great as well. He's put 200 sticks of TNT into some kind of ball. I mean, that sounds like a lot, but I'm not familiar with TNT, so is that a lot?
It's a big ball too.
Yeah, it seems like everyone will die, right?
Yeah, because also you've got the shrapnel from the ball that it's in, which actually is probably the more dangerous thing than the explosion.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, it'll make like shards fly at people's eyes.
Yeah, I worked as a ballistics expert in the local police station for 20 years.
For a second there, I was genuinely like, oh my God, is really?
I know, as I was saying it, I was like, this sounds real.
They used to call her Ballistic Bottoms. That was...
Oh God, I love that.
Ballistic X versus Bottoms. There we go. That's the new movie. But since you are such an expert, the radio detonator he produces, why is it the size of a house?
Well, that's just personal preference at that point.
There's no need for it to be that big, right?
No, not at all. As a ballistics expert, again, I can't stress enough how much personal flair is a part of this job. So
the most important part.
I think I enjoy the fact that it has the little rotating handle too, so you can do like, you don't see the numbers, but I twist my hand around and there you go, the thing slots into place.
It's real steampunk of him. It's just an egg timer probably.
It also reminded me, because it's on that swivelly thing, Niall, you're probably one of the only people who will get this because most of our listeners are American, but it looks like one of those weird things that old men take to the football. To soccer, you know, like you spin them around and they clack, like.
Oh, those things, yeah. For a while there, I was just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Now it's like, oh yeah, the clacker things, yeah.
Whatever the hell that's called, nobody knows where they come from. Where'd you even buy those?
There's just things that popped up in sports as a thing, where like those we call them vuvuzelas, like the horns that were big for that one World Cup. Like everyone was into the vuvuzelas for like that 1 year. You never saw them again, thankfully.
No.
Thankfully, none in Gotham as well. Like, at the circus, people, the vuvuzelas just up in the face of everybody right next to them and stuff.
And as everybody knows, we're such big sports fans.
We do, of course, get the Two-Face's threat of, like, oh, gonna blow up the place with this big bomb. You got 2 minutes. And of course, then we get the lone heroic voice amongst the crowd. We get our new mayor, who shouts out like, "What the hell you want, Harvey?" Which is, for the fleeting moment that he is on screen, it's like, I would have loved this guy if he had been in more of the movie. This would have been our boy for the whole film. But
he seems like our kind of actor and our kind of character, doesn't he? We would have really attached to him.
Well, that's the thing, to get into this guy playing the mayor. Phoebe, did you recognize this guy when you saw him at all? Or?
I didn't. Who is it?
Apparently this guy, I only asked that because you're a stand-up comedian. Apparently this guy's quite a famous stand-up comedian. This is a fellow called George Wallace.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just don't... It's one of those things where it's so out of context. You know?
Yeah. That's just one of those things reading about him. It's like, holy crap, is this not a big deal?
That's so funny.
But yeah, he's no relation, of course, to Lee Wallace, who played the mayor in the first movie. Tragically, it would have been nice. It was like, a bit of mayoral nepotism. They just got the brother of the guy who played him in the first one.
It's a dynasty.
And he's playing Mayor Burien Moore. There's a double barrel name, Burien Moore, which apparently is a reference to the film's art director, Christopher Burien Moore. And George Wallace is not, in fact, the... well, that's the thing in terms of, like, everything's connected, like what we always do in the show. There was another George Wallace who was a notoriously racist governor of Alabama. Who was
he was a nightmare.
Yeah,
He's one of the worst people in modern, I think, American history, personally. My dad met him while shooting a movie.
Really?
Out there.
Oh, man.
He was horrible on site. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, George Wallace, and linking it back into Batman, I guess, like the racist governor of Alabama, George Wallace, was, there was an attempt at assassination of him by a guy called Arthur Bremer. Arthur Bremer's diaries would go on to influence Paul Schrader when he was writing Taxi Driver. And Taxi Driver, of course, was the basis of the Joker movie that just came out quite recently. So it was all tie in from friggin' George Wallace to Arthur Bremer to Travis Bickle to Arthur Fleck. So it's all connected.
Everything's connected.
Yeah, we really beautiful minded that. I love it.
Of course, Beautiful Mind, written by Akiva Goldsman, who wrote Batman Forever. So there you go.
Yeah.
Everything is connected.
Jesus. Oh my God.
One of the only ones that you've said now that I actually knew.
But yeah, so this guy is apparently a very famous stand-up. Appeared in many things. He's a guest star on Bob's Burgers. He was in Funny People. He was in the Lady Killers remake, but the Coen brothers did with Marlon Wayans, who of course was going to be Robin in the last movie. He was in Arliss with, of course, Robert Wuhl from the first film. He was in something, I just love the title, Bert Rigby, You're a Fool. Know nothing about the movie. I just love that title.
That's all you need to know. Does it have an exclamation mark at the end?
Tragically not. I was hoping if it did, it would have been like, shut down this show. We're doing a special episode about Bert Rigby, You're a Fool right now. Apparently he was also on the Dom DeLuise show. We keep talking about Dom DeLuise because me and John still don't really know why Dom DeLuise is famous. He just seems to keep appearing in things.
He's a thing.
Uh-oh. I'm a big Dom DeLuise fan.
Oh, really? Okay.
I love it. I love him so much.
I think he just never made it here.
I just know him as like, that's just like a voice from like the American Tail. I know that, big guy, a beard, did the voice of that cat in that one movie.
That's fair. It might be it might be an American taste situation. But as far as I'm concerned, he should be on our flag.
There you go. We've improved the American flag right here on Bat Minute.
He's also in something called Things Are Tough All Over, which was the Cheech and Chong movie. And apparently, such a big deal as George Wallace, like within the stand-up community. He was actually the best man at Jerry Seinfeld's wedding in 1999. So,
whoa,
I'll be damned.
So he was tight end, but that was one of those weird things too. Because I was reading about it. So he was Jerry Seinfeld's best man when he got married on December 25th, 1999. I was like,
wait, what?
And I got an invite to a wedding recently that's happening on New Year's Eve. And it's like,
that's so cocky.
That's ridiculous.
That's so cocky.
I do think it's bad form because it's like, well, people are already partying and they got other stuff going on. You don't know how to take up their time, take away from a special day. Like, I know Jerry Seinfeld's Jewish, so maybe December Christmas Day doesn't mean anything to him. But it's like, because
yeah, but
other
culturally, like a lot. I think even people who aren't Christian, I mean, I'm not, celebrate Christmas as just like a fun time to get with friends and family. And
I'm Jewish, and Christmas is my favorite holiday.
Oh, there you go. See,
I love it. I just love. I mean, I married into someone whose family is Christian. My husband is, we're nothing, but his family really does it. And I grew up with no Christmas, and so the first one I went to his house for, it was like a Coca-Cola commercial. It was beautiful and fantastic, and I finally got what I always wanted.
Aww.
So I love the music, I love the season, I love the vibe. I'm a big Christmas guy.
It's just fun, everyone's happy.
It's just nice, yeah.
The other thing, maybe it's like George Wallace isn't actually like all that good a friend with Jerry Seinfeld. He was the only person willing to show up to the wedding on Christmas Day because everyone else
that's entirely possible.
He's the witness that you need legally.
The thing is, though, because it would have been after this movie, so like I really, really wish there was some footage of that wedding and Tommy Lee Jones just gate crashed it and started threatening people with a bomb, and then like George Wallace is like, "What the hell do you want, Tommy?" Like, "What, Mr. Mayor?" Batman. But in real life as well, though, like one final note on George Wallace. Apparently in 2006, he announced that he was going to run for mayor of Las Vegas. And like, so he could have been a real life mayor. Apparently, I don't think it got much further than him just announcing that he was going to do it. But one of his things that he was going to instigate was bringing in a monorail, which is a thing that's been tainted by The Simpsons now. It's like
absolutely.
It's like if your entire campaign is based on I'm bringing in a monorail, it's like it's got poor affiliations with something that's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, so that is the tragically short-lived cameo of one George Wallace as Mayor Burien Moore in Batman Forever.
Alas. I wonder if we're going to see him again in the next movie. I don't recall seeing him, but
I don't know. I can't remember if there's a mayor in the next film. I'll have to see.
We'll have to wait and see. But Two-Face does want one thing, and I love the delivery. He wants Batman bruised, broken, beaten. In a word, dead.
Yeah. Although that's a weird thing, like, to me, like, because he's doing alliteration, which is, of course, from writing the outro. So I'm just like, well, I get that, Tommy, or Harvey. But it's just like I feel like he doesn't stick the landing with it, because it's like he's going all in with the bees, and then he ends with dead. And it's like, should have not been like, bruised, broken, bleeding, obliterated. Maybe.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or like
it's still an O, but you get the alliteration.
I like that dead breaks it, because it serves as like a period, as a full stop. Bam!
Right. That's true. It definitely is more noticeable. It's which one of these is not like the other situation, which I think people respond to.
Yeah, that's true.
So. Yeah. And it's just a scary word. Let's be bruised, broken,
it is.
Blah blah blah, but then dead.
Yeah, I was racking my brain too, trying to think of like, well, if he couldn't finish with the B's, could he at least done it with the D's? But I was trying to think of like what it would have been, like drawn out, defeated, decimated, dead.
Oh,
but it's like, I don't know,
destroyed.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. But it's like, yeah. I don't know, just like, yeah, I think the bruise, but yeah, I just feel like, as a person who's had to do a lot of alliteration due to this show, I'm like, hey, finish the course, man. But, of course, the whole thing, this bruise, bleeding, obliterated, that was also cut from the VHS release as well. So, I think the version I remember from my childhood was just like, what, Mr. Mayor, Batman. Then cut to Edward Nygma going, ah! And then back to the mayor going, Batman? Because he's like, that guy wants Batman. Oh. What kind of a...
This laugh on Nygma, good God. I'm angry.
Although, I must ask as well, Phoebe, like, again, you are a person within the comedy world. John obviously hates this laugh from Jim Carrey.
Ugh.
But what's your opinion of Jim Carrey? Like, as a nowadays it seems like his stick would be so dated. That insane overacting kind of thing wouldn't fly in 2019. And you being a working comedian of 2019, do you regard this guy as like a legend, or are you just like, oh no, I'll never even attempt to go near Jim Carrey material?
I mean, no, he's not. I don't think. I think he's an important personality in sort of the overall scope of American cinema. But he's certainly not someone that I would ever emulate. I think he's talented when he turns his volume down a lot. Like, I think he's great in Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah.
And he's got some merit and other stuff, but like Dumb and Dumber is a perfect movie. That's great, but that's also not him doing like The Mask,
Yeah.
Which I can't stand. I can't stand I don't have like a high tolerance for high energy. So, I don't know. I'm not gonna hold up for 24 hours and watch Mr. Popper's Penguins. Let's just put it that way.
See, I get that. Like, at the time, he was what people needed, as we said. He's what everybody wanted. But it doesn't age well. If you go back and watch like Ace Ventura, The Mask, all these kind of things, it's like, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to get through them. Whereas I like Truman Show and things like that, because that reins him in. Like, you get enough of his wackiness and craziness, because at the start of Truman Show he's being all chipper and like, hey, hey neighbor, and that's great. That works.
He's too rubbery for me. Also, it's a whole thing.
I suppose that kind of works in The Mask though, weirdly, because it's supposed to be a cartoon, whereas he keeps doing the rubbery thing in roles where he's not a cartoon.
I'm loving the fact though that like this. You being a big Tommy Lee Jones fan, Phoebe, ties so well in now to your dislike of Jim Carrey, because of course Tommy Lee Jones' like legendary jibe at Jim Carrey where he was like, I cannot sanction your buffoonery. Just now it seems to me like that would be your reaction upon meeting him, would just be like, ugh, this guy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I'm way more of like a Tommy Lee Jones style speed, you know? I'm sort of putter along slowly. I'm not grumpy, but definitely wouldn't want to get stuck at a party with Jim Carrey, you know?
I am looking forward to like 20 years from now, like your Western series where it's just like middle-aged, crotchety, grumpy Phoebe Bottoms taking on the wild plains of America.
Oh, that's all I want.
I was like, what's the plot about? It's like it's 2 hours of like just riding cows around. Like that's the whole movie, and then someone dies very violently, and it's quite horrific. And like that's your modern age Western these days.
Yeah, I'll take part in that any day.
But I do also love that the fact that like Two-Face now is like announced like he wants Batman. Just a little shot of Bruce with his kind of like, whoop, this is awkward kind of face that he's got.
Yeah,
like, well,
he's kind of.
What am I going to do here?
Do I do something? Do I spring into action? Where are we going with this?
Unless it just happens to him all the time. He's like, oh god, not again. Like, do you think this would be such a standard villain? Because at the end, isn't this kind of in a weird, ironic twist? This thing is used by the Joker in The Dark Knight, the most acclaimed of the Batman movies. The Joker does the same thing, where he just like sends out a thing going, I want Batman to unmask himself, and if he doesn't, I'm going to kill, friggin' this, that, and going to do this, whatever the hell I want, whatnot. And of course, in that movie, ironically enough, it's Harvey Dent steps up, and he's just like, announces that press conference, like, I am Batman, gets hauled in. Whereas in this one, it's Harvey Dent doing that thing. But it seems like such a foolproof plan to get rid of Batman. It's just to come out and threaten something and be like, hey, if Batman doesn't show up right now and show me who he is, I'm going to kill all these people. It just seems like every criminal will be doing that all the time. Like, it didn't work from Two-Face here, but it could work again. Like, you just do the same thing at a shopping center the next day or something.
I feel like there needs to be some kind of meeting where everyone just gets on the same page.
Everyone's done. I was like, you're busy with your giant freeze ray. Just friggin' like that's not gonna defeat Batman. Just come out and say like I'm gonna kill this one person right here. Just grab anyone off the street, put a gun in their head, and go like I'm gonna kill this person if Batman doesn't show up and tell me who he is right now. And Bruce will be in the same situation that he's in at the minute. He's be like, I guess I better do it because otherwise I'm responsible for that person's death.
Yeah, he just needs. Well, I guess Robin is like this, but he just needs interns. Batman needs more people on the street to be able to like delegate stuff to, grab coffee where he needs it, take out a couple villains. It's just too much for one guy.
But yeah, I think like because we're kind of in the middle of Two-Face's. He's waxing lyrical again about a scheme.
Well, his scheme's actually slightly more intelligent than usual as well because he knows that all of the richest and finest in Gotham are here. So this will lure Batman out. Yeah. As we will see.
Yeah. But
sort of.
But I'm all noted out for this minute. I don't know. You guys have anything else about this particular minute you want to bring up? Or
I mean, I think that's... I can't think of anything else I have for it. It's a solid minute, and I think it speaks for itself in a lot of ways. I'm very impressed by it.
A lot of fun TLJ action, cool clothes, little skulls on his jacket. Awesome.
We'll say, though, Phoebe, like, because I know you're a big fan of Batman Begins. Again, the exact opposite of this Batman movie.
Yeah.
But where would you rank this in like Batman lore? Are you a fan of Batman Forever? Like, do you have any personal history with the movie where you'd be like, oh, I've loved this since childhood or anything? Or are you just like, this ain't gritty, realistic Gotham, so I don't want to know? Like,
I just love it as like entertainment. I didn't really grow up on it. I sort of missed just very barely the time boat for it, but I think it's a ton of fun. I think it's really visually gripping and fun to look at, and I like all even if I'm not like a huge Jim Carrey fan, like he's showing up and he's cast in the right part. Yeah, I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, I'm good to go with this minute. If you guys are.
So we will head off into the dark, dark night. One last time, Phoebe, because you are not joining us at the end of the week, sadly. Would you like to remind people where they can find you online, get in touch, or check out your work?
Sure thing. Most effective platform would be Instagram at Phoebe Bottoms, and it's listings for any shows or, pictures of my dogs, whatever content you're interested in. I might have it if it's a very limited view of my life. But yeah, I think that's mostly it. If you're in New York, check out Good God Comedy Show every Tuesday at the Sultan Room in Bushwick, and that's it for me.
Hey, well, we have a lot of listeners in New York. For some reason, New York and California.
Oh, great.
That's like our market. I don't know why.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Yeah, well then hop over to the old IG, and there's listings for every date where you would want to potentially see me do stand-up in either one of those places.
Cool. Check it out, everybody. And come and talk to us at the Bat Minute Listeners Cave on Facebook. We've got an Instagram, the Bat Minute. What else? TeePublic. Buy a t-shirt. Buy a t-shirt. Buy a t-shirt. It just helps make the show even better, even cooler, and me and Niall can buy all kinds of gold-plated items. We can encrust our microphones in diamonds.
Yeah, just more ivory back scratchers. That's what the whole endeavor has been about. It's just getting ivory back scratchers.
I'll speak for the public and say we all want that for you guys.
Aw. We've been playing a long con. We've been doing this for years just to get these ivory back scratchers and diamond encrusted microphones.
I think that's all we're all going for. Living the dream.
And we will see you again on Friday for more Bat Minute Forever.
Woo!
Next time, Fear at the Fun Fair! The cleft-faced captain of insanity commences a countdown to calamity, causing carnival chaos among the aristocrats and gentry. But while a caped crusader's sacrificial confession is drowned out in the din, which clan of acrobatic artisans are about to step in? Find out Friday, same Bat Pod, different Bat Minute!
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.